Hey guys, and welcome back to another great episode of Pardon Our Honesty. I'm Tiffany.
Hi, Megan.
And before we get into today's topic, we're going to do a rewind that segment because you guys had a lot to say about finances and expenses and what you spend your money on. All right.
One of the top questions was, what do you spend your money on? DoorDash, Amazon, your, shopping,
Mhm.
whatever. DoorDash, Uber Eats came up a lot
Yeah.
as a waste of money, obviously, people recognizing that, and Amazon shopping. And, one person made a good comment. The reason they don't DoorDash is hygiene, because they were like, do you look at some of the vehicles and the people who drop that off? It makes me very nervous. And I kind of laugh because I never really thought about that. But I guess that's kind of a good point. Like, it could be kind of gross.
So we ordered wings last night from Wingstop because families here in they were trying to DoorDash. My brother was trying to DoorDash, and I was like, I wish you would. You better get on that app and you better order it. And we got some teeny boppers know how to drive and let them drive you to the Wingstop to pick up these wings. And he was like, what do you mean? It's not that expensive. Okay, so the order we did was $49. With DoorDash, $67. I was like, are y'all out of your mind? No, ma'am. We're gonna burn this little gas for $2 and go get it and bring it back to the house. I can't. No, I'm gonna go pick it up.
Yeah.
Time.
It was that. I mean, I think a lot of people were admitting to that, and then the Amazon shopping because,
Yeah.
and like I said, I agree. It's so easy to click and put in your cart, click in your cart, click in the cart. Like, oh, I need soap, click in the cart. Like,
So my challenge with Amazon shopping is I do the subscribe and save, which probably
yeah,
is not
it's
saving,
probably not. We do, too.
but
Yeah.
I do my little toilet paper, my paper towels, products like that I'm going to use every month on the Amazon subscription. But I'm sure if I went to the store, I probably could find some deals and save a lot more money than having them send it every month. But I can't do it.
Yeah.
It's just the convenience. So
Another question that you had put on there that about finance is kind of like, what is something that was different from when you were raised to now? And multiple people had put, in lack of better terms, how much simpler life was. You had dinner together, you sat down together, there weren't cell phones, you thrift shopped or went to yard sales. Kids didn't have the privilege of saying, I'd only wear this name brand. And two of them said it really taught them the benefit of a dollar and being appreciative of what they have. They obviously spend more than their parents did, but they're conscious of it because of how limited they have funds when they were being raised. It was very interesting at church today. The sermon was about loneliness and how the generations now are more connected than they've ever been, but 56% of Americans feel lonely. Because if you said, think about it now, you DoorDash, you don't go to the restaurant, you don't see people, you're not talking to people. You order your groceries for delivery, you're not walking up and down the aisle saying hello and excuse me. You're, all the things that you typically would have conversation with random people has all been taken away because we're DoorDashing, we're meeting people online, not in person. All those things. So where more and more people have anxiety, depression, whatever. And it's interesting because by also making yourself more lonely, you're spending more money. Because so if you're DoorDashing, you're doing all this, you're alone and you're spending more money.
I would have never thought about it like that, but that's a really good point because I can't reach out and touch anybody in the world and I can be connected, but I'm connected on just a surface level.
Right.
There's no conversation. We're not finding out what's going on in your life, what's happening with your kids, what are you worried
It said
about?
like 46% of people feel that nobody really knows who they are. And I'm like, well, yeah, if you're not building a deeper connection. And so by spending all this money, doing things of convenience, I think we're also losing connections at the same time.
I would have never thought about
Yeah,
that.
it's very interesting that you talked about it today. I was like, oh, that makes
That's
sense.
very cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for your comments. Keep them coming. We'll keep putting questions out there and you guys can interact with us. And we love it. So thank you. And today's topic is your pets. I know you love them. How much money are you willing to spend on them? And what lengths are you willing to go to make sure they stay around you a very long time? Mine is real small.
That is such a sensitive subject because I feel like, people's pets become an extension of their family.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. But I have never been like, I love my dog and my cat. I love them and I love them. But Bubba, my cat, has, I think he's kind of reaching the end of time. We were trying to figure out how old he was. We think 12 or 13, but he's very obese. He's laying on the floor right now. He's very obese. So he probably, his lifespan's a little shorter. And I was like, if somebody asked if I could do a $5,000 surgery to save him,
I love you, Bubba. But TT don't have no
I
money
can't
to
do
help
it.
you.
Well, multiple factors, the money,
Yes.
but also if he's already 13 and he can only live to 15, do I want to spend that? What's his quality of life going to be?
Yes.
I feel like I'm going to get like, but I don't have that. I love them and I would be very sad if anything happened to both of them, but I don't have that like the attachment thing, I think.
So I did have an experience with, we adopted this shelter pet. It was a standard poodle a long time ago. And he was in the backyard. I think he got a hold to some pesticide. And the next morning, standing in the dining room, he just peed blood. And so I'm freaking out because this is one of the first dog animals that I've ever had in my life. So we rush him to the vet. And they're saying, well, we think he has cancer. And I'm like, what? Cancer? What am I supposed to do with that? And they're saying, oh, it's going to cost this much. And you have to go to the next town over because we lived in a little small town and blah, blah, blah. And the number got bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, Jesus, I can't afford that. I can't do it. And so we ended up, letting him end his life on his terms. And I couldn't afford it. And I couldn't see that I'm spending, like you're saying, 8,000, 10,000 on the dog. And he's already 12, 13, 14 years old. And so we just let him go. The dog that I have now, if she needed a surgery or something, I'm probably good for maybe 1,500, 2,000. But after that, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to give you a nice burial and let you go. I'll keep your ashes though.
Yeah. I mean, like when I adopted Dottie, I mean, okay, so you do your adoption fees and all that. Well, then she had heartworms. Well, that was $1,500, the whole process. And I was like,
Oh.
holy shit. I wasn't prepared. I just thought I was adopted. You know what I mean? So then you have that on top of the vet bill. So the first probably 6 months with Dottie, I spent probably $2,000.
Yeah.
And that took me back because I wasn't prepared for that. Like I just wasn't prepared. I was like, holy crap. But now I'm in it. Right.
Yeah.
But if they came back and said, like you 8, 10, 15, I don't know that I could do it. You never know unless you're in the situation, but I just feel like depending on I have a friend who has done 2 hip replacements on her dog, like $5,000-$6,000 each leg. And she did it without question. So, I mean, I think it might depend on if that dog is like your only family member or maybe your therapy dog or something like that.
Or it's early in their life. Okay. I can definitely kind of justify in my own brain. The dog is 2 years old. They're probably going to live to 12, 13. Okay. This money will prolong that.
That's true.
I can probably see that, but a senior dog, no, I can't. But I know a lot of young people, like my kids are getting pets and that's their baby instead of having a baby. So I don't know. My daughter has a little poodle. He's really sweet. I love him to death. If something happened to him, I don't know if I wouldn't be thinking about maybe I should help her if the dog is sick or something like that.
Because that's like her
baby.
child.
Yeah. And if it was my grandchild, I absolutely would be, okay, what do we need? How much you need? I'm sending it right now. So I don't know.
See, and I think that's where it gets hard because child and an animal is different, but for some people it's the same thing.
The same.
And I don't know. I struggle with that because I mean everybody today to this day is still shocked I adopted a dog.
Because you said you would
I'm not an animal person. I mean, I'm not. I've never had those attachments.
Yes, you have Bubba. He's been around for forever. Look at Bubba, y'all. He's so sweet.
He's so fat.
And he loves his titi. He comes from wherever he is to say, hey,
so fat. Say, I'm so fat. Say, look, I'm so fat.
He's so cute. How could you not love that face? I would honestly cry if something happened to Bubba.
Yeah.
I would honestly cry
I mean,
so
I think I'd
bad.
be sad. I mean, I'd be sad because Bubba, like, he has a routine. Well, he's getting, I don't know, I think he's aging out. But like every night, he jumps up and I go to bed, I turn the fan on, up
Mhm.
comes the cat, sleeps right next to me. I mean, it's like
Aw.
a routine. Like
Yeah.
in the morning when I get a shower, he goes in there, eats because I have his little food bowl in there.
Mhm.
So I can see, and I live by myself. So I can see how people can get attached to an animal as like their companion.
Yes.
So then
Yes.
you walk in the door and there's no longer a dog barking for you or a cat crying or like,
Mhm.
I can see that. I still think for me, I don't have that deep, I'd be sad,
Mhm.
but I don't have that deep, deep thing of like, oh my gosh, let me take him in and let me see if how much money I could spend to make him better. I'm kind of at the point of like, I love Bubba, but if this is the end of he's
Yeah.
not suffering.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. It'd
I
be
don't
very
know.
hard for me to go spend $5,000 to see him feel better for a year and then be
yeah,
back to the
then
same. And they always tell you there's no guarantee.
absolutely, and that's what the one thing with the dog that I had that needed that surgery or exploratory, let's figure out what's wrong with it, was there was no guarantees. I'm spending all this money and this dog might die anyway. What the heck? I can't get it back and the dog is gone. So I just couldn't justify.
But I think too that people before they take out, like my daughter wants a dog, and I keep telling her before she does that, do you have
Yeah.
the time?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the money? Do you have the commitment?
Mm-hmm.
Because so many people, especially with dogs, go get a dog. 3 months later, 6 months later, oh, I can't handle it. I work too much. Da, 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 da. Like, I feel like that's wrong from the get go.
Yes.
But then we have a friend, David. David comments a lot on our stuff, and he has a dog, and I know that he loves that dog like his child. He makes homemade food for the dog.
I did
It's a
that in the
full grown, I think it's a full grown poodle, if I'm right. David, if I'm wrong, correct me. But I think it's a full grown poodle. But
Yeah.
he makes this most beautiful natural meals. And like even me, I can't bring myself to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like, here's the dry food, here's some, $15 bag. Like,
Oh, I'm terrible at that because when I first got the dog I have now, I was making her own food. And Ed was like, "What is wrong with you? What are you doing? You're treating the dog better than you're treating the kids." I was like, "But this dog, she's so sweet. She loves me. If I'm sad, she's going to come sit right next to me and love on me and be like, oh, it's going to be okay." But now, no. I still buy expensive dog food, but I'm not making the food anymore.
Yeah.
But I did it, one, because that's what they fed her at the breeder. And I did buy a dog. Yeah. I paid a lot of money.
you pay.
I
Oh,
bought
yeah. I thought you meant
her
like you bought another
from
dog.
no
A
Jesus.
breeder.
I
Okay.
bought the dog from a breeder, so I was like, this investment needs to be good because I just spent a lot of money on this dog, and I swore I wouldn't get one. But pet insurance. Do people think about pet insurance?
I didn't even think of it till you said it earlier today. Because I mean, I'm
Was it
thinking,
Geico? They offer, I think it's Geico or somebody like that. They offer pet insurance. And I don't know what they cover, how they cover, what you have to do to get it, but
it
that's
could be very helpful if you think about it. Because one thing with an animal, like if they swallow a sock, a dog, and it doesn't
Mhm.
digest and you have to have a surgery, that's a
Mhm.
couple grand just like that.
I'm sorry.
I would have to look into that. I should look into that for dogs.
Yes.
I've never really paid any attention to
Yes.
pet insurance.
Yes. And hopefully it's worth it. I don't, some insurance, you get and it's like, this is not really worth it. But hopefully,
Well, right. I mean, not totally different subject, but like right now I don't have medical insurance, but I go do cash pay on everything and it's like nothing. And I'm like, if I would have paid my insurance premium of $400 or $500 a month, I would be paying more than what I'm paying at cash pay
that's crazy.
for right now. I mean, God forbid nothing happens, it's serious, but like to go to the dermatologist, to go to a regular lady, all that stuff. Once you say cash pay it at cash at a time, your bill is like nothing.
That's crazy. We should
Nothing.
talk about that in another episode, but that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So I can see with dog insurance,
Yeah.
could it be better if it's only like $20 a month and then they would cover certain things?
Yes.
It might be worth it. If they say it's $100, $200 a month and they don't cover like anything, you might as well just save your money. So if something comes up,
That is very true. And hopefully there are people saving their money to pay for their pets. Because like the dog that I have, it has to go to the groomers at least once a month. And if it doesn't, it's gonna look crazy, be mad at. And did I think about that when I got the dog? Probably not.
Yeah.
And then add on top of the vet bill, then add on top of if she got sick. Thankfully, she's never been sick. But if she did, I
So
just would have to let her go because life is getting definitely shorter, right? I want to travel. I want to be able to do things. And I do think about, okay, if I have this dog, one, I'm paying for the dog to go to the boarding. And then,
yeah,
like you're saying, I'm not there because maybe I want to take a month-long trip to go
and
visit
boarding is
whatever.
not cheap. Like the last time Ava watched ours last time, but the time before that, for 6 days, it was over $500.
Oh, my-
So, I mean, that's a lot of money.
it
So people are
is.
thinking, like, if you're a military person and you're going to be gone a lot, or if you travel a lot, or you have to factor that in. What do you think about people who breed?
I don't know. It depends on what you're doing in the breeding. Like, are you just getting two dogs together to sell them on the side of the road? Or are you going through all the proper protocol to make sure they're registered, they get their shots, they do all the things that need to be done so that, that dog is worthy of an AKC certification and blah, blah, blah. I don't recommend getting a dog from a breeder, even though I did it because there are so many dogs and cats in shelters. And I see it all the time for our local shelter, them begging, please come get a dog. We will waive the fees. You don't have to pay anything. Please come get a dog because if you don't, we're gonna have to eat the nails.
See, I think the hard thing about shelter dog, so breeding for me is like, I think a dog should only be bred so many times and then retired.
Yes.
Because some of those dogs
Yes.
I feel like get abused,
I
and
do.
that makes me sad. I never would have got a dog. Okay, let me just say, I just never would have got a
I
dog.
never thought she would either.
Dogs are not my jam. Like, no. Well, a friend had posted Dottie, and I just, oh gosh. So I said, I'll foster for the weekend. So we work it out to foster for the weekend. Take her back Monday, and then I'm like, no. So I go back and I get her. So now I have Dottie. But the concern I have about shelter dogs, and she's a pit bull, and I was afraid, is she gonna eat me one day? Is she gonna attack Madison? Like, is she gonna eat the cat? Like, I don't know where she came from. I don't know. Did she have an incontinence problem? Did she fight? Did she you don't That's the only reason why I can see people being hesitant about shelter dogs, especially older shelter dogs.
Mhm.
Why, if you had a dog for 5 years and gave him up? Did they get aggressive? Did they bite? Did they start peeing? I mean,
No.
but honestly, Dottie is a gem babe. She is. She's never had an accident in the house. She doesn't chew. She's a little out of control, but I haven't trained her. But she's not aggressive. Heather came over with her little daughter the other day. She had Dottie on the floor in a blanket, stuffed animal under her head. I was like, oh gosh, Dottie does good with kids. But when you don't raise them, you don't know.
You
So I
don't.
feel like it could be very scary to say, go get a shelter dog, because you don't know, why are they in there.
So my daughter, her baby is a poodle, and she got him from Pet Finder online, and I believe he was abused. He has bitten two members of the family. He will growl. I popped him for doing something the other day, and he looked at me like, Nana, I'm about to bite you. And I'm like, if you do, this will be the last person you ever bite. But when he's around the kids, all of them know, okay, Momo is a cute little puppy.
Don't get
He
in his
looks so
face.
great.
Yeah.
Don't get in his face. Don't put your hand in his kennel. If he's not out playing and jumping on you, you leave him alone. But it's because we don't know his history.
Right.
And I'm afraid that he will bite one of them if he's in a terrible
And
mood.
people can sue you over that.
Yes, that's true.
I had a Great Dane, and a neighbor watched the dog from this years ago, and it scratched her son, right? Well, not the son's friend, and they didn't clean it, and it got infected. He went to the doctor. Well, they said it was from the dog. They came to my house and quarantined the dog. Then the second time it happened, we went to the vet, and the vet didn't put a muzzle on Apollo and went to give him a shot and said, well, this shot will burn. Gives him the shot. Well, Apollo snapped because he had his wife holding the dog.
No.
Snapped. So he reported us and got quarantined. So we had to quarantine the dog from that point on, away from anybody, because 3 strikes and they put you down. So we couldn't risk it. And then I was like, man, if anybody got upset and wanted to sue, they could. It could take away the house. I mean, you have your homeowner's insurance and stuff, but if you didn't register that dog on your homeowner's insurance,
I
yeah.
register my dog. She won't bite nobody.
Then you won't be covered. And so there's a lot of risk to having animals too, because I could go to your house if they bite me. I just like Tiffany.
Your dog, big dog, and I'm a
I would never sue you. But like, you don't know if your dog gets out and bites somebody like walking across the street. People. So that's another thing you got to think about. Are you going to train your dog? Is your dog's temperament okay to be around people, kids? Like, and if it's a foster dog, sometimes you don't know. Like, you just.
Yeah, I've been through that same experience as well, but those two little dogs were escape artists, and I was afraid that they were going to keep them from us, but luckily they gave them back because they could see how sweet they were once they got over, oh, these are new people, we're afraid, I'm scared.
Yeah, let
Please
me
don't.
react.
Yeah, but that is a concern of mine. I worry about if the little grand doggy bites somebody, how bad is it going to be? And if it came to, okay, the dog bit somebody and I got to either get rid of the dog or pay this bill, I'm probably going to surrender the dog, unfortunately. Because,
yeah. Well, once they're aggressive, though, they're like with our Great Dane, once he became aggressive because we had to keep him away from so many people because of the strikes, he became more and more aggressive. Wow. So it got harder. Like certain people couldn't watch him. He couldn't go to certain daycares. He couldn't do a lot of things. It got a lot harder. I mean, he passed at old age, but like it does make it a challenge. And if you already feel like you're stressed over an animal, now you have an aggressive animal.
That's going to cause a lot of stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing that I get too. People have these dogs that are like family, right?
Yes.
Then they have a baby and then they can't handle the dog and the baby and want to get rid of the dog. That makes me sad sometimes too. Because I'm like, I get it. Babies are a lot, kids are a lot. But if they're not aggressive towards the baby, I feel bad.
Yes, I do think you should consider that if you're desirous to have a child. What am I going to do when the child comes and I have this animal? But I don't think people really think about that until it's too late, because I just know I have this dog. It loves me. I loves him or she, and they give me joy when I come in the house. I've had a bad day and they cuddle with me, and I would do anything in the world for them. But now, oh shoot, I need to consider this human person over the animal. And I don't know how you separate the two, because in my mind, they're the same. They're not the same, but they're the same. You still have the same affection and love for the dog that you're going to have for your kids. So how could you give them up? Yeah. Now, I'm not a fan of giving up your animal. If you signed up for it, then you need to stick with it because you signed up for it. And if you didn't do your research, I'm sorry.
And I will say I've been that person, because we had a golden lab at one point, and neither me or my ex-husband trained that dog, and it ate every railing in our house. It ate every baseboard, windowsill. It ate.
Oh no!
So we put that one up, and somebody adopted that one. I was like, I cannot. I mean, we were both working 8-hour days, even in the kennel. Find a way out of the kennel.
Really?
It was insanity. And I was like, listen, we both don't have the. We never should have done it, right? We don't have the time. We're never home. You're deployed all the time. I don't love animals. And I'm at work all the time, and this dog is eating everything in our house. So, I feel like you have to be prepared to, like, I hear people say, I'd never kennel train. Well, if they're tearing up your house and you get rid of them because they're tearing up the house, but you didn't want to kennel train. Like, I feel like you have to really go into it open-minded, thinking about all the pros and cons, especially like when people buy bunnies and stuff for like Easter. I'm like, why do you do that? You know those kids aren't going to take care of that bunny, and you're going to be getting rid of it.
That is the key. If you're buying a dog, getting a dog for kids, it's your dog. It's not the kids' dog. I'm telling you that now before you even think about it. It's not the kid's dog. It is your dog.
To this day, the 2 dogs that Nick has, the kids wanted dogs. We always had dogs. We need dogs. We had dogs. It's like they are 19, 18, and almost 17, and it's still a chore to them. Like, why do I have to feed him? Why do I have to let him out? I'm like, you guys are the ones that want these fucking dogs.
Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. Yeah. Now, you said your dog, he chewed up everything. Did you ever have to take him to the vet?
No. I mean, it all came, the first time, because we freaked out. We came home and our chair rail was totally chewed off. And we took him, and he was fine. I can't remember. I think, what was that dog's name? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. And then it started windowsill, shoot, you name it. And it was just like, this is too much.
Poor doggy. And it was probably because he was bored. He didn't
He
have.
didn't have enough attention. He didn't have enough training, didn't have enough attention, didn't have,
Mhm.
of course, that's why. I mean, so, and that's not something we could have changed
Mm.
by my work and his
No,
work.
no,
So
no.
it just wasn't, that's almost why I was nervous about this dog because I'm gone most days, all day.
Mhm.
But this dog was a blessing, doesn't chew, doesn't do anything. But if it did, I'd probably be sitting here going, I don't think I can do that.
I would take Dottie Boo, and my husband would probably be like, "Girl, what's wrong with you?" But I would take but Dottie Boo because she is this very sweet animal. But I make Megan pay for him. And got sick because I'd be like, "You can't let
That's your
Dottie Boo
dog.
die.
Yeah.
You have to help me take care of Dottie Boo." All right, guys. Well, what are your thoughts about the level or the extent you would go to make sure your doggy or cat or whatever animal you got is well taken care of and lives a full and fabulous life? Let us know down in the comments. And until next time, bye, guys.